Hey everybody, this is my first time doing a Facebook Live, so I hope you can see this. Um, if you're watching the recording of this, I'm doing a Facebook Live for the topics I want to talk about in real estate for a couple of reasons. One, I'm more comfortable on a live camera than I would be doing videos and having them edited. And I have a great editor, but I can't read a script. Um, it's just how I am. I've always just kind of clammed up. Whereas if it's the camera's live on me, I'm comfortable. But with that being said, um, I'm also just practicing this out and kind of want to have a little fun with this. But as I'm pulling up my notes for what I'm trying to talk about, the joys of going live, um, I hope this isn't choppy or blocked out. You can actually make sense of what I'm talking about. Um, but what I want to talk about today is uh, 5 mistakes I've seen sellers make when they're selling a home. I've been in real estate for over 10 years. Also, just do a quick introduction. My name is Will Bowers. I'm a licensed agent with Allison James Estates and Homes, and I'm in the state of Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. I've been doing this for over 12 years, and with that being said, I've seen a few, and I just love how all of a sudden, as soon as I go live, everyone wants to message me about what are you doing for dinner? How's work? How come you haven't messaged your mother? I'm recording this doing this just before Mother's Day. So I'm hoping somebody comes in and asks a few questions just to kind of liven this up. But um, I want to talk about the 5 things I've seen sellers do, and I can give some examples of what I've seen in these situations. So, um, 5 things I've seen sellers do that have absolutely ruined their chances of getting their house sold. First one is I've seen people overprice their home. And I know this is common. If some people are thinking, well, their house isn't overpriced. I've come across scenarios where I once met somebody who wanted to sell their home and they wanted to sell it for about $100,000 more than what I thought the market would dictate. And I politely told them, I'm not the agent for you. I don't think you can get this number. And they weren't happy, but they respected where I was coming from. I just felt that it just wasn't worth it. And their logic that they wanted 100,000 more than what that rest of the market was simply because, honestly, because they thought they were special. House was fantastic, but it just didn't justify the rest of that market. And I saw them put on the market with another agent, and a month later, same price with another agent. And I apologize for any lag you might see. Uh, I saw the same house on the market for 7 months with 7 different agents before they finally started lowering the price with agent number 8. And this is what happens. This is what can happen if you overprice your home. Now, I will say this: there's sometimes different reasons why the house might be a little bit more expensive than the rest of the homes in the market, but you got to explain. It has to be a reason why that can't simply be bought with stuff from Best Buy or something that could easily be replicated, I should say. Sometimes a home might be a little bit more expensive because it's closer to the train station. It's got a view of the lake. It's not near the trash or not near a power line. Um, but you get the idea. Little things that make it stand out. But if you're adding things that could easily be replicated with contractors and equipment from Best Buy, uh, Home Depot, is it really worth that extra 20, 30, 50, 80, $100,000? So that's one thing to keep in mind. Like I said, I've seen people overprice their home. Um, Another reason I've seen people uh, sabotage their home sale, they neglect any type of repair or maintenance. They got the house price accordingly, but they didn't repair the leak. They didn't repair, again, the joys of um, live internet. They didn't repair the leak. They didn't repair the roof. There's a mildew aroma. I've walked into homes that have had the smell of animal byproduct, tobacco, and just things like that. Maybe not update the kitchen where the kitchen still has a very 1970s vibe, but the rest of the house, well, the rest of the neighborhood, the kitchens are updated. So ignoring any type of maintenance or updates can also hurt you selling a home. Just think about this. Of you're asking for the retail price, you're looking at a house that's priced at the retail amount that would normally go for, but you realize you're going to have to put about 50,000 into the house. Well, let's say 30,000 into the house to make it suitable. Compare, is it really worth it? So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, the third reason a home doesn't sell, well, third reason a seller has has trouble selling is, and I see this a lot with for sale by owners. For sale by owners, I respect you. I understand what you're trying to do, but sometimes, and I've also seen this sometimes with agents, they have a poor marketing plan. Uh, as a realtor, I will spend thousands of dollars on marketing. It's not just put it on the MLS, put a sign out, do open houses. Um, and I see this a lot of times. People, well, I just put the house on Zillow, and that's all I needed to do. N- Not quite. I mean, in certain markets, certain times you can do that, but other times when you have a lot of competition, just putting it on the MLS or just putting it online is not enough. I do think I try to create bidding wars, so I will reach out to people in various neighborhoods. I never send mailers to people in the neighborhood that the house is for sale when I represent the seller, and the reason for that is the neighbors already live there. They'll see my sign. So, let's say you're selling a three-bedroom house, a three-bedroom townhouse. I will reach out to apartments and condos that are one bedroom, two bedrooms to see if they need to move into something larger. I might reach out to people in four-bedroom houses, five-bedroom houses in a neighboring neighborhood in case they need to downsize. So I'm looking for that. I will put that home on thousands of websites, not just MLS listings, not just stuff you'll see on Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com, but my listings do pop up as ads on Facebook, Google Ads. You could literally be on some of the news sites. And if you've been searching for a home in that neighborhood, my listing could show up on, you could be reading, you could be checking out ESPN. You could be checking out scores on various sites, or you're trying to read the news, checking out the weather, and my ad will pop up. I will spend the money to make this happen. So if you're selling your home on your own, you got to figure out how can I get my home seen by more people. And sometimes this, or sometimes I've also seen it's agents who just they do the 3P method. They put it on the MLS, they put a sign in the front yard, and then they pray, hoping that a buyer comes along. Not always the case. You got to have a good marketing plan. So that will hinder your chances of getting the house sold. Um, Fourth reason I've seen people struggle on selling their house, and this one people are actually kind of shocked, not being flexible on the showings. Think about that. You're trying to sell your house and you tell people, well, you can only see it Saturday and Sunday between noon and 4. Not everyone has that type of flexibility. I get it. Life. Um, I helped someone sell a house, and the tenants living in there, very cool, very flexible, but they had a baby and no showings between 11 and 3. Try to give enough so the baby can wind down and go to bed and get, you're not and enough time for the baby to nap. It's more like 11 to 4 actually on 7 days a week. I, I get it. Life happens. People work overnights. Babies are sleeping, things of that nature. But you try to be, if you're selling your home, try to be flexible with the schedule. I've seen some sellers. They put the house on the market, and the first week they're living with family. They just simply go, okay, we're going to stay with in-laws. We're going to stay with family, cousin, brother, whatever the case, for 3, 4, 5, maybe a week. 3, 4, 5 days, 7 days, just to give more flexibility for the house to be seen. Um, doing the more flexible you are on the showings, the more likelihood you can get somebody to actually see the house. I've actually shown a house at 4 in the morning. The way their schedule worked, nights nights was the only time they could see it. And 3, 4, 5 in the morning was really the only time both of them could be there. House was vacant. Seller said, "I'm cool. Just don't do anything crazy." And they ended up buying the place. Um, I showed a place on Christmas Day. This was when the world had shut down, and my plans to see family um, had been put on hold. And my client, her plans to see her family got put on hold as well. And the house was vacant, and the listing agent was absolutely shocked. It's like it's Christmas Day. Um, it's go right ahead. I've had listings where people have showed it on Easter. I've had it where it's been shown on 4th of July, Thanksgiving night. Um, Again, that flexibility will help you a long way. If you put such a tight window, it's harder to get people to show up in that type of um, narrow frame. And then fifth reason a home does not, well, I should say, a fifth reason why sellers have trouble selling their home is the curb appeal. And what I mean by this is the front yard, the fence, everything around it. How does it look? There have been numerous times I bring in a buyer, and the front yard grass is not cut, bushes are just grown wild, and my client has some hesitation. And as soon as you walk into the house looks amazing. Client still has a little trepidation because if the seller couldn't take care of the house, is everything inside the house fine? That they just painted to make it look good? It's sort of that way. But I've also seen the other side where we go to the house and the front yard looks great. The landscaping is done. They did some repainting. They did some touch ups. They did some fixes, and the place just creates such a positive vibe that when they walk in, they're excited. They are just excited to see the place. Home brick has been repainted, front stoop has been repainted, landscaping is done, the bushes are kept, they look really nice. The front yard, the fence around the front yard's really good. They've edged around the walkway to the front. It's just looking immaculate, and the buyer's excited. And then as soon as they walk in, they've got this great vibe. They're riding on this great vibe that the house just looks fantastic. So that's just something to keep in mind. So um, I was hoping some people would pop into the chat so I could answer some questions. But again, real estate questions, real estate topics on Fit YouTube Live, not the most exciting. I completely understand. But if you're watching this video, thank you for taking the time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment. Stuff you'd like for me to talk about in the future videos. Like this video, like this channel, subscribe to this channel would definitely help me out. So, but anyways, thanks again for taking the time, and I'll see you the next time.